Right, welcome everyone to the showcase of the run where I beat Balatro by only scoring the exact amount needed to beat any blinds I play. Starting off with a small blind, relatively straightforward because we don't have any jokers for scoring. So we're just looking for either a full house or a flush that gives us 300. In this case, for this run, we went for a flush. Either one is relatively easily achievable with the abandoned deck. And then with our $10, we'll have exactly enough for a blueprint. We're going to skip big blind number 1 there because 450 is just an awkward number to get. 600 is a little bit cleaner. And then after playing 2 pair, we're going to discard through, pick up our 4 of a kind aces, provide the bulk of our scoring, and then finish it off the pair 10s and a high card 5 just to give us that extra little push. Now that we have a little more money, we're going to be able to buy Odd Todd to use as our kind of scoring engine for the next few blinds. So in this case, we'll play 2 pair with odd cards. Give us 400 halfway there. And then we're just going to discard through for a flush that will give us exactly the other 400. Only has 1 odd card, but that's exactly what you need. That is the last small blind we'll play, because the rest of the rounds we actually end up just skipping and trying to go straight to the bosses. A lot of the bosses have better or just kind of more straightforward numbers to hit. For the Psychic, fortunately a 6 high straight flush with a blueprinted Odd Todd gives us exactly 1600 in one hand. Up next is the Water, which we originally thought was going to be probably the hardest boss, given the fact that you don't have any discards, so we would need to have a hand in our opening hand, or in the first couple of opening hands that add up to a good number of points. And we were fortunate enough to find that a 4 of a kind 5s gives us exactly what we need. So not only were we able to beat it, we were actually able to one-shot it in one of our first attempts at this run. One small key here is just make sure we're blueprinting Mystic Summit instead of Odd Todd for a little bit of that extra multiplier. Here, we'll pick up the rest of our jokers to round out our kind of scoring and hand size for Juggler. And we'll pick up the Spectral just to give us 2 more aces in our deck. The 6 aces are going to come in handy later on when we are going to be looking to play 5 of a kind aces a lot. And then you'll see we actually pick up a Scholar, so having more aces, the better. In this case, we're just going to discard through so that our Mystic Summit is triggered. Start with a flush here, and then we're going to draw 2 aces that go right in between these 2, so that's how we know they're aces even though they're face down. And then, seems like a very awkward number, but if you don't blueprint anything, this actually gives you 9 high for 884, giving us our 14,000 out of 14,000. And we are a little poor, but fortunately the $15 tag means we have enough here to roll twice. Like I said, pick up a Scholar to replace Odd Todd. Then we're going to go on to the final boss, or final anti-5 boss I should say, since the Verdant is our true end goal. And here we're going to start off actually blueprinting Abstract Joker for a little bit of extra mult here, since we won't have Mystic or Scholar active. We'll just play 2 pair 8s and 7s. 8s and 7s are nice because it adds up to 15, so total it's 30 worth of chips, which means we're not actually seeing any weird numbers over here on the right. Now you're going to start to see me do some weird things with my hand. So this is actually doing some card manipulation so that on the final fight against Verdant, we draw cards in the order that we need them. We'll get into that a little bit later during the actual Verdant fight. But here, we'll just discard the rest of these, and then now that we have 5 of a kind aces, we can blueprint Scholar for the vast majority of our scoring here. And then to round out the last little bits, we're actually going to be going no blueprint, and then playing 9 high and 6 high. So in this case, the 9s, we're just playing 9, 5, 4, 3, 2. Again, making sure it's 9 high. We're not duplicating any pairs or anything. And then the last card is, we're just going to play the 6 of hearts. But again, you'll see me just quickly do a little bit of card manipulation there. And then in the next shop, you'll see us round out the card manipulation with an Arcana pack. Here we have our even 28,000 out of 28,000. Pick up this Arcana pack. A little bit simpler than the other ones. We're just swapping the ace here and swapping a couple of our 4s so that we can draw a even full house as our second hand here. We'll use the Hierophant on our aces so that we get as many bonus chips as possible when scoring our 5 of a kind. And then to round everything out, we will be replacing our jokers with a foil Even Steven and a foil Banana. Jumping right into the leaf. We draw 5 of a kind aces off the bat, which is always a lovely sight. So we'll sell Juggler, making sure that our Scholar can trigger on the aces, along with Blueprint to give us 27,000, the highest hand of this run, and fortunately a nice even number that we can add on to with some other cards. So in this case, like I said, we wanted to draw those 4s a little earlier on. Want to discard everything here so that we can draw 10s and 4s full house. We'll Blueprint Even Steven now, since that's going to give us a more molt, since we are playing 5 even cards. Here we are going to discard, keeping 2 6s and an 8, and actually draw 3 3s. And then moving the Blueprint over to Gross Michael, because that will give us, again, the most molts. Giving us an extra 10 here. We'll get 8 from Even Steven for the 6s, and just generally have the full house. And then we will round it out with an Even Steven blueprinted 5 of a kind 8s, putting us at a score of exactly 50,000, because this scores exactly 12,000. I hope you enjoyed, and I like being able to showcase some of the card swapping technology.